Supply and demand are fundamental principles in economics that describe the relationship between the quantity of a good or service that is available for sale and the quantity of that good or service that consumers are willing and able to purchase. When the quantity of a good or service that is supplied is greater than the quantity that is demanded, the market is said to be in surplus. When the quantity of a good or service that is demanded is greater than the quantity that is supplied, the market is said to be in shortage. The law of supply and demand is a basic principle of economics that explains how the price of a good or service is determined in a free market. The law states that the price of a good or service will rise when the demand for that good or service is greater than the supply, and the price will fall when the supply is greater than the demand. This relationship is often represented graphically by a supply and demand curve, which shows the quantity of a good or service that is supplied and the quantity that is demanded at different prices. One of the key factors that can affect the supply and demand for a good or service is the price of the good or service itself. When the price of a good or service increases, the quantity of the good or service that is supplied will typically increase as well, because producers will be willing to supply more of the good or service at a higher price. At the same time, the quantity of the good or service that is demanded will typically decrease, because consumers will be less willing to purchase the good or service at a higher price. Conversely, when the price of a good or service decreases, the quantity of the good or service that is supplied will typically decrease, and the quantity that is demanded will typically increase.